Hey loves, I'm feeling called to share the advice to get yourself into bigger and bigger rooms where you're the dumbest one there or the smallest one there, or you're not making as much money as all the other people there, to get yourself in those rooms, because that's where you're going to expand the quickest. That's where you're going to transform your life, and you are so worthy and deserving of that. And it can be so fucking scary to put yourself in those rooms. And last month I made an investment where I did step into a bigger container where I'm like, I feel like I'm just meeting the qualifications to like get into this space of expansion and transformation in myself and like stepping into new identity. And I fully believe that the transformation happens in the transaction, because as soon as I made that, I was like, oh my gosh, this feels so different in my body. And I've had that happen over and over whenever I've made investments in myself, being like, yes, I am so this next level version of myself. And like tonight's call that we had was super expanding, and I wanted to share some like of the awesome energy that I'm in from it and the like insights that I was getting from it too. So I'm just going to share a bunch of things. And hey to everyone who's popping on live. Hi Scott, hi Patrice, hi Donna, hi Jessica, hi Holly. I hope you guys are having an awesome night. So at the beginning of our call tonight, we were celebrating people's wins, celebrating their brags, and people were celebrating like 10K weeks and 10K months and 10K days. And there was a person who was sharing that she's expanding into like 50K packages, like single person packages. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, I have so much space to grow into. And women who were doing like group programs for 3,000 at group. And I'm like, I've been doing group program for like 300. And it's so expansive to see where you can go. And I so encourage you guys to get into these rooms. And my like first big of doing that was last year when I went to Tony Robbins' Life and Wealth Mastery. And I was like talking to this awesome couple, and then they got on stage later and did a testimonial about how awesome the Platinum program is and how they like own an island. And I'm like, people are people, humans are humans. You can just decide to energetically be different, and you can do the work to get your mindset there, and you can become self-made millionaires, and you can become whatever you desire because it's within you. So tonight's call was like so powerful, because some of the thoughts that they were having at the lower levels, which I currently perceive myself to be at. Like, I'm like, okay, I can easily sell my 2K packages, but I'm not at a place where I have fucking a 50K package yet. But that's really expansive to be like, ooh, what would I put into a 50K package, and how could that look like and feel like, and offer that amount of support and transformation and like VIP retreat days and like destination retreat days and all these things. And it sounds so incredible, and it feels so good in my body. And a big thing that I know that I've been called to do for a while has been to raise my rates. And it's interesting because even my clients who spend thousands of dollars with me are like, I would have spent so much more. Like, holy shit, like this, like I'll always check in after every single call. Like, I'm like, hey, how are you feeling after we did the downloads and did the work during the call? And they're like, so incredible. Like, I would have paid so much more to be here. And I'm like, okay, thank you, universe. Because even after our first call, I did like one of the role-playing sessions, and like a beautiful soul sister was like, you need to like minimal double, triple plus your rates, like right the fuck now, because holy shit, you provide all this and it's so low. And it's so incredible to have it in that mind frame. And I know when I was at Life and Wealth Mastery last year, I was having that same like, it's almost like shame of like, my prices are too low, but I don't know how to expand into the next level. And last year I was charging like $95 for a single session, and it's definitely changed since then. So it can feel very triggering and shameful, and that you're the dumbest person in the room, or that you're the smallest whatever person, but you can always do that work. Like, I've definitely increased my own like inner work, and I've had some theta sessions, and I had a Reiki session all this week to like keep doing my own internal work of clearing these things, of what's been coming up, of what my old identity has been, of what limiting beliefs are coming up. And I really encourage you to always have that support system, like having like theta healers and Reiki people to like be like, okay, this is where it's in your body and this is your belief system around it. We can help you clear it and release it. It's been so powerful to have that level of support to energetically keep supporting me in clearing this. And a really interesting thing that's been popping up is like situations where I'm like, holy shit, I would have reacted so different to that 3 months ago, a year ago, kind of thing. And one thing that happened was a thing in my apartment broke, and it like happened when they were doing work, and they were like, okay, sorry, like we're gonna get someone to like immediately come in and fix it for you. Like, I'm like, cool. And then the end of the day happened and no one came, and it reminded me of a previous thing that had happened a year ago with another landlord that I was dealing with. And at the time, like, I didn't want to call him. I like felt like I was going to be like a bug or a burden, or like I was really scared that there was going to be a conflict, or that he'd think that I'm bitchy, or that I'm like asking for too much, or like just there was a lot of like boundary stuff happening there. And it's interesting because the point that I'm at, I'm like, I'm just going to follow up. And like, if I have to seem bossy or pushy or follow up every fucking hour or get in a fucking like, you need to fix this right now, like kind of energy, I could expand into that if I needed to, and I could take up space. And it's interesting because literally it's like August last year, I was in such fear, and I did work with a mentor who was like helping me, doing like tapping on it and being like, why is this like energy in me? And I know it's why it's in me and why it was in me, but it's like super interesting to see that the old version of me would constrict. And like, even when those situations happened, it's like I can see in my mom where it's like, oh, you shouldn't like bother them, like don't bother them. And it's like, it's not a bother. Like, you can take up space, you can ask for what you need, you can have your desires put out into the world and have it immediately met, and have deeper expectations of people. And you just energetically getting to that frequency allows things to go more smoothly. You don't have to get into those conversations, you don't have to have those topics at all. And it's so interesting because like literally Monday this week, I was talking to my brother, who's so not into this world, so doesn't understand personal development, growth, and investments in themselves. And he was talking to me about like how some stuff is being covered by insurance, and like people who are like naturopathic things and certain things can get covered by insurance. He's like, maybe you can get some stuff covered by insurance, because he like learned about it and he wanted to give me a tip for my business. And I'm like, that's hilarious, because I used to get those questions. Like year one in my business, I had such low worth and value on the work that I do, and such fear around getting those kind of questions and not having receipts to give people who did want receipts, that literally I'd get it so often. Are you covered by insurance? Is this covered under this kind of service? Are you covered by Blue Cross? Like, those would be consistent questions that I'd get. And that's when I started my business, and the advice that I got was to do all the expos, do all the fairs, get the leads and the ballots and all the things. And at the time, what I was doing was calling the people that resonated with my work and the message and that I felt good energy with, and offer them like a trial session or a winning session. And for like the lowest price, in which I was getting all of those questions about, do you take insurance, was if they like won and then they were able to upgrade like 1.5 hour session and were able to upgrade to a full hour for like $30, for like half the price, because I was charging like fucking $60 back then. And it's interesting because all of those people were asking about insurance, and that's beautiful, and I honor them for that being their place in their life. But it's so true that the person that you are attracts different things, because I haven't gotten that question. I think as soon as I entered my second year of business, I was like, I'm done with these kind of things. And I was just like, okay, it's not here anymore. And there was another thing that happened in my life. The landlord thing, talking to my brother. Oh, and then like people who know me, who followed me, know that I've had all kinds of like things to heal and work on in regards to my family, and especially my father, and the fear of being rejected and the abandonment issues and all those things. And that side of the family has disowned people, like has flat out been like, yeah, you're my blood, you're literally my child, but we're disowning you because you said something that I didn't like, or you did something that you didn't like. So those have been fears in my life. And then I've also just had very negative and toxic things with my father, and it's gotten to the point where it's like, okay, like he can act crazy, he can do crazy things, we can not be talking at all, or we can be in this like very strong boundary, but something came up with a message that he sent me, and I'm like, I'm reacting to this so different. Like, I used to get in, like, my stomach would feel upset, and I'd be in panic and worry and fear and overthink and analyze all the things, and now I'm just like, no, this is how we said that we'd have conversations, this is a strong boundary, I'm only talking to you about these things, nothing else. Like, we're not going into drama, crazy territory if you want to be in my existence. And to keep having these energetic upgrades in who I am and how I show up in my life and how I show up in my business and how I show up in my relationships, like, it is so powerful. And I'm so grateful that, I can't remember if it's a quote of like, get yourself into rooms where you're the dumbest one there, or like something like that, or if that's just advice or sayings that people have said, but I feel it's so important to do that so that we can continue to expand and see what's possible for other people in their realities. Because at the time when I was getting like naturopathic receipt questions, if that's covered by anything, I couldn't imagine a life where I wasn't. And I was also being around other people who were also getting those questions, versus Tony Robbins doesn't get a question, hey, are you covered by insurance? Like, he fucking has a huge wait list that's like, I think minimum a year long, last time I heard, and like millions of dollars, plus he gets a percent of the back end. Like, no one's asking Tony Robbins, are you covered underneath insurance? So it's been so interesting that as I continue to shift and expand myself and hold my space and have new standards and have new boundaries and have energetic frequencies that just don't appeal to the people that I don't want them to appeal to, life has just gotten so much better. So I wanted to share that and encourage you to shine your light and be more confident and get yourself into those bigger rooms, those bigger containers, hire the like more expensive coaches or spiritual healers or whoever that you're feeling called to work with. Like, follow that nudge, because it always leads you to the right place. I am so grateful I've made that investment, and I'm very grateful that I've also learned to listen to the nudges when they are nudges, instead of when they start to become physical things in my body. And like, the raise your rates thing is starting to be so loud where it's like, okay, we've said it to you, we've gotten your clients saying it to you, you know, we have external people saying it to you, we have people that you've invested in saying it to you, people in the container saying it to you, like, your body's gonna say it to you next, raise your fucking rates. So I'm doing that. Encourage you to listen to your body if your body's telling you to do certain things, if you're getting that nudge, if you're like getting that gut feeling that you're made for more in any area of your life or your business or your relationship, to follow that, because that means it's for you, it's ready for you, and you just have to be the person who decides to move forward in that. So I encourage you guys to step up and shine your light, especially since like everyone who like watches and follows my videos are the like light workers and heart-centered people who want to help other people, and the world needs it so much right now. And all of us stepping into new versions of ourselves who are more empowered and more confident and more expansive is only going to do good things for you, for the world, for the people that you're going to serve. So I want to encourage you guys to step up into that next level version of yourself. And if you'd like to apply to transform with me, then you can definitely send me a private message. And I'm sending you guys all so much love and light. Bye.